What's up YouTube? This is ABHINAV MAHAJAN. Welcome to ABHINAV MAHAJAN Fitness. So guys, as I promised, I was going to conduct a Q&A session this week, and here it is. First of all, happy Raksha Bandhan Day to all you amazing brothers and to your sisters, and if you're a girl, then to your brothers too. And yes, let's get started with the fitness thing. I was trying to shoot this thing earlier in my new office, but I couldn't do that because there was a lot of noise and stuff. But here I am at my friend's place, and let's get on with it. Let's take the questions and let's answer those freaking questions as best as I can. So it's going to be a 30 to 40 minutes video. Yes, it's a long video, but don't worry. I'm going to put the timeline in the description. So if you have asked a question regarding a specific topic, don't worry, you don't need to go through the whole video to find yours. Just see in the description below, you will find your question in front of the timing that is given below. So no more wasting time, let's get on with it. Okay, my phone got logged as always. Alright, so the first question on my Instagram is from Neeraj, and he asks, okay, Abhinav, I'm a skinny fat with moderate amount of muscle. I'm supposed to clean bulk, but okay, 180 grams protein is my target being a vegetarian. Could you please suggest me a solid training program and a diet plan? It would mean a lot. First of all, Neeraj, thank you so much for your question. Now, as I can see that you have mentioned that 180 grams of protein is your target. Now, first of all, I don't know why the hell are you consuming that much of protein, because you don't need more than, like, see, there's a controversy going on between 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight protein that you need to consume, but honestly 0.8 or 1 gram per pound is way less than what you are talking about. Like me personally, even I'm consuming about 130 to 140 grams of protein according to my body weight, right? So you might be consuming a lot more than you actually need. The other thing is that because you're a skinny fat, right? Here's the thing. What might be happening with you? Even if you're keeping the calories, let's say, below your BMR, or if you're consuming low carbs, the amount of protein that you're consuming here, like 180 grams of protein, if you're not aware of the fact that if you're consuming extra protein, the protein that you need, let's say your body needs 130 grams of protein and you're consuming 180 grams of protein, so that extra amount of protein, the 50 grams of protein, will be converted into glucose. So there's a process called gluconeogenesis through which that protein will get converted into glucose. And if your body, as you're saying, you're bulking, so I'm hoping that you're already in excess calories, right? More calories than your body requires. That is the total daily energy expenditure, more than that. And all that extra protein is going to be converted into glucose. And glucose, we all know, if your body is not burning glucose efficiently, and in your case, you were already bulking and you're consuming extra calories, all that glucose will be stored as body fat. So it might be hindering your gains, right? First of all, I need to really clear this out before I try to give you any kind of a program or a diet. So just make sure that you're consuming appropriate protein, not too high, not too below, right? Rectify that mistake. The other thing is that you have asked me, could you please suggest me a solid training program and a diet plan? See, here's the thing. I don't have enough of details according to your, like, the question that you have asked me is not even generalized. It's not even generalized because I don't have all the details that I need to actually give you a diet plan. But when it comes to the workout plan, I've already told you, you don't need to find a fancy workout, whether you're skinny fat, whether you're skinny or fat, or even if you are, let's say, a bodybuilder, the workout will remain almost the same whether you're trying to lose fat or you're trying to gain muscle. Why? Because it's not the workout that will be counted, like that will have a bigger role in helping you out to get rid of that skinny fat solution, right? What will actually help you out is your diet. And as per your information, I don't have enough of details that I can give you, but again, I don't want you to go empty-handed here. Here are some of the tips. First of all, I just want to make sure that you have watched my video of skinny fat. I've made 2 videos and very elaborate videos how to actually get rid of a skinny fat solution. So if you have not watched them, here's the first one, here's the second one, please watch them. With that said, here are the first few diet tips that I can give to you. Again, the same thing. If you're bulking, go around 5 to 10% more calories than your total daily energy expenditure. Another thing that you can do is that include cardio. When you start including cardio, don't go too excessive. Don't try to, go overboard with running on the treadmills for hours and hours. It's going to hinder your progress, because right now you really want to build muscle. Focus on compound movements, as I always say. Make sure that have enough of volume in your workouts, about 16 to 20 sets in total in one workout. Increase the frequency of your workouts. Let's say you're hitting chest once a week, try to hit chest thrice a week with lower volume. Increase the frequency. In totality, the volume will be more. And I hope you will build more muscle. Again, as I say, building muscle should be the key here. Why? Because the more muscle you can build, the higher will be your metabolism, and more fat you can burn, and more faster you will get rid of the skinny fat solution. Faster you will get rid of skinny fat, right? So I hope this is a better skinny fat solution for you. And let's get on with the second question. The second question is by Pranav. Sir, I want to ask that I'm doing workouts since 5 months, and I want to ask how many times per week should I train a single muscle, and if I do leg exercise to it affects on my height, it means it stops height or not? Okay, a bit confusing. Let's divide it into two questions. I think he's asking two questions. First of all, he's asking that how many times per week should I train single muscle? So now there are a lot of different theories, but the best thing that I have found, I've already answered this in my previous Q&A session. If you have not watched it, please watch this one also. But I'm going to make it very small as possible, as short as possible. So make sure that you are hitting your each and every single muscle group at least twice per week. That is the frequency that you need to build more muscle efficiently. The other thing that you can do, you can also include a full body workout at the end of your week, let's on Saturday, so that you can actually make 3 times per week. That's what I do. I have 2 full body workouts during 1 week, and that gives me enough of frequency for hitting those muscles to actually make them grow, right? So 2 to 3 times per week is efficient way to go. Now I hope this helps you out. The next part of this same question is, doing legs exercises, does it affect my height or not? Again, guys, please watch my previous Q&A video. I have already answered this height question. It's the same myth that's going. It's a most common myth that goes, lifting heavy or doing leg exercises or doing squats will stunt your growth, will not allow you to grow taller. Nothing will happen. Rather, it will be much better for you if you're lifting weights, and you can actually reach your growth potential if you are working out and eating right, having more calcium, making sure that you're sleeping enough, right? Don't worry, keep on lifting heavy. Don't injure yourself, but yeah, lift heavy, stay healthy, eat healthy, and you will grow as you need to grow, right? Okay, so the third question is, how to get the belly fat off, especially the side ones? All right, so this is one of the most common problems that we as Indians are facing, the love handle fat. We all hate it. I hate it. You hate it. And how to get rid of them? First of all, don't go for spot reduction. It's just not possible. Now I'm going to make a whole new video on that how you might be able to specifically target those areas. But to be really honest, just go for overall fat loss. Why? Because once you start losing fat, you will lose fat from all the areas of your body, not a specific area. So if you're having fat on your sides, make sure that you're eating right, following a proper diet plan, consuming less than your total daily energy expenditure, the number of calories you need to move, do any activity. Consume lesser calories than you burn, and that will help you to lose fat all over the body, including the sides of the belly. Another thing that you can do is, I see so many people making a lot of mistakes, that they're doing these side crunches, right? These side bends, and I just don't understand, why the hell are you doing that? You are just, aggravating that problem that you're having already. Don't do side bends. What will eventually happen is that once you start doing side bends, it's actually stimulating those muscles to grow. You don't want those muscles to grow. You want to lose fat from them. So what you need to do, you need to include more twisting movements like Russian twists, like wood choppers with the rope cable, right? So do those kinds of movements, includes those movements for obliques, the bicycle, right? The lying bicycle crunches that you do more of the oblique movements rather than doing the side bends. Don't make that mistake. And I hope this helps you out. Again, you cannot lose fat just from one specific area. You will lose fat from all over. It's just that due to our genetics, we tend to hold fat more in certain areas of our body, right? With that said, I hope this helps you out. So the next question, okay, I am Vian. I don't know the name is from Vian. Okay, diet plans for Indian people who want to build awesome physique, or your original diet plan. Okay, so I think he wants to ask me about my diet plan. I've already discussed it in another Q&A. I think, guys, you're not watching it. You're not watching my videos. I'm giving a lot of informational stuff on each and every single one of my video. I really want to request you, please go and watch this video, the Q&A video that I made earlier. I've already given a timeline over there. If you've not watched it, okay, let me help you out. I do not make it very complicated. I'm a vegetarian, though I do eat eggs occasionally. Keep it very simple. The protein sources for me, they are like chickpeas, black beans, soy tofu. I use whey protein, 2 scoops of whey protein a day. For the carbs, I use a lot of oatmeal. I use rice. I use brown bread occasionally, but now I've also started using the gluten-free pasta and gluten-free atta, right? The gluten-free wheat. Another thing, the fats, right? Fats are very important for the healthy mechanism, for the healthy makeup of the hormones, right? So the fats that I include in my diet are like almonds, and I include a lot of peanut butter, I include cheese. So all these are healthy fats, extra virgin olive oil. All these add up to give me a well balanced diet. I'm not depleting myself of anything. I do not go on a dieting throughout the year, though I keep myself in shape, and that is solely due to the activity level that I have. I'm really, my training is very intense. I just do not lift. Sometimes I have like multiple workout sessions where I just give myself 15 minutes of high intensity interval training of a CrossFit workout, or just a HIIT workout at the rooftop in the evening or in the morning empty stomach. So that gives me a metabolic push initially. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. My diet is very simple, nothing fancy. I've been doing it for a long time. Like to keep it simple. I cannot diet anymore. I don't want to diet anymore. I just don't feel healthier, right? Okay. So thank you for the question. The other thing that the next question is from Ravi. What should be veggie post workout after protein shake meal? Get bulk lean, and is there any side effects if I eat 100 to 200 grams soybeans per day? Okay, so what is the best post workout veggie meal? Really, to be honest, once you have your protein shake, the only thing that you need to take care of, the next meal needs to be one of the biggest meals of your day. That is my perspective. I want my breakfast, my pre-workout meal, and my post-workout meal to have the most amount of carbohydrates collectively than any meals of my day, right? So my breakfast will be, let's say, moderate carb, moderate protein, low fat. The pre-workout, of course, I want that food to be digested quickly, will be moderate carbs, moderate protein, and low fat. And the meal that I will have after my workout, now that actually depends on your goals. If you want to lose fat, you can keep that meal to be a bit high in carbs, because you're keeping all other meals very low in carb, a bit higher in protein and lower in fats. If you are like, let's say you're in a bulking mode, you really don't need to think about it. You're already consuming enough of carbs to give your body that anabolic push, and consuming enough of protein, consuming enough of calories, so you're not depleted. So you can go with, let's say, moderate carb, moderate protein, and even moderate fats. It won't affect that, right? So the kind of importance that has been given to the post-workout carbs is just too much, right? Now, this is like a whole new discussion that I have to do. I'm going to make another video on that, but you don't need to worry about what kind of a veggie meal, what's the macros. With that said, now I come to your specific question, veggie meal. Very simple. As I said, moderate carbs. You can go for rice, right? You can go for chickpeas, you can go for brown bread, you can go for pasta, and then you can add some tofu, let's say 100 to 200 grams of tofu. And then for the healthy fats, you can have almonds, or you can have cheese, or I like to have like salad with a lot of olive oil in it, right? So that works for me, and it will work for you. But again, the same thing, you need to see where your goals are. Again, if you want to lose fat and all your other meals are low in carbs, make sure this is the biggest meal of your day. If you're already consuming enough of carbs throughout the day in the bulking mode, you don't need to worry about that. Just keep the carbs moderate, just keep the protein moderate, and just keep the fats moderate. That will work for you. The next part of your question is, if I eat 100 to 200 grams of soybeans per day, are there any side effects? See, here's the thing. Eating soy has been shown to have implications in animals, in rats specifically. And those implications is that when those rats were fed like crazy amounts of soy, all right, and that was when it actually affected their estrogen levels, right? So that is the one thing. I know the whole estrogen thing that's going on, it's not it's not just very recent kind of a research that has happened. It has happened like 4 years ago, and when I was eating soy at that time, even I was worried, but I went into a few more researches, and don't worry about that. Make sure that you're not overdoing it. 100 200 grams of soybeans, you know what, I think that's, I don't know about the estrogen thing. Well, I know about the estrogen thing. It won't affect your estrogen that much, the 100 to 200 grams, but I think you're trying to consume majority of your proteins just from soy, and which is just not the right thing when you are following a vegetarian diet. You need to make sure that you're combining a lot of different food sources to actually complete all the amino acids, because we know that most of the vegetarian proteins or vegetarian sources are incomplete proteins. So you have to combine them and make sure that you're getting the benefits of all those amino acids by combining all different kinds of proteins. So let's say rice is low in, brown rice is low in a certain amino acid, and the soy is low in certain amino acid, but they both will complement each other, because the deficiency in rice can be made up from the high amino acid, that high amino acid profile in soy, and the vice versa. So please try to consume enough, combine enough of protein sources when it comes to vegetarian diet. I hope that helps you out. Okay, the next question is from Keshav. Hey Abhinav, please tell us the function of metabolism in your body and how it works, how fast or slow the metabolism, as I'm a hard gainer, so what's the function of my metabolism? Please include this topic in your video if possible. Oh, that's a great topic, and I'm gonna make a detailed video on this thing, but just to keep it very short, here's the thing. When I'm talking about the metabolism regarding fitness, right, regarding bodybuilding, regarding building muscle, I'm gonna keep in that context only. So metabolism is something that it's the amount of calories that your body is burning, the amount of fuel that your body is burning in order for you to maintain the normal functionality of the body, whether it's watching a television, whether it's while sleeping, whether it's while lifting weights, whether it's while walking your dog. All these activities will require some calories, some fuel burning from your body, so that your body can be in a homeostatic mode, right? In a balanced mode. And there is a high metabolism, which you have because you're hard gainer, you told me. Then there's slow metabolism. And what that means is a person with higher metabolism will burn more calories to do those same tasks that will require lower calories by the person with the lower metabolism to complete the same task. So let's say there's a guy with a higher metabolism, a low metabolism. Both guys are given to walk their dogs, both have the same weight, let's say, and they have to walk their dogs for 1 kilometer. So this guy with high metabolism will burn more calories than this guy who has the lower metabolism. So what big difference that will come is that if you want to build muscle, this guy with higher metabolism has to get more fuel through food, that he has to eat much more food than this guy who has the lower metabolism. And basically, if I have to really overgeneralize this, the people with higher metabolism are called the ectomorphs, the hardgainers. The people with the lower metabolism are called the endomorphs, who gain easily both the muscle and the fat, right? So these are some of the basics about the metabolism when I talk about bodybuilding or building muscle. The other thing that you've asked, that you are a hard gainer, what's the function of my metabolism? I've told you, if you're a hard gainer, you specifically have higher metabolism, you need to eat more food and eat until you start seeing some results. So this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see most ectomorphs making, that whenever I ask them, they're always crying, I cannot build muscle, I cannot gain weight. And I'm like, okay, why do you think so? I don't know. I work out, I eat a lot, I eat so many calories, I eat so much of food, but I still cannot gain weight. And then I ask their diet, and almost 90% of the times, all those ectomorphs have the same problem. You guys are not eating enough of food. Bump up your calories, bump up your carbs, bump up your fats, right? Protein, I think most of you, if you're using whey proteins and if you're consuming enough of chicken, eggs or tofu and stuff, you are consuming enough of protein, but it's the carbs and the fats that are mostly on the lower level when it comes to gaining for you ectomorphs, right? Bump up your carbs, bump up your fats, do it until you find that point where your body starts gaining, right? Once your body starts gaining, stick with it for a few times, you become stagnant, hit a plateau, again bump up your bump up your carbs, bump up your fats, and do it until you start gaining more muscle. It's as simple as that, right? So don't be confused about the metabolism or the higher metabolism thing. If you have higher metabolism, just you need to consume more food. Also make sure that you're not doing too much of cardio. Cardio is important, you need to do that for health purposes, but not too much, right? So I hope this helps you out, brother. Okay, the other thing why I used to be Vedi, the other question is, sir, I have a weak shoulder joint due to which I am unable to pull my full potential in the gym. Please tell us, the beginners, some exercises for strong joints to avoid injury in the future. Well, that's a very interesting question, because in this year, this is the second injury that I'm facing for the shoulder. And the first time that I had a shoulder injury, it was a bursitis and tendonitis together. And I still remember, like, for 3 months, I couldn't lift heavy. So I can understand what you're going through. This time, I have an injury, but this is like due to my mistake, because I was trying a crazy move. And yeah, I tore some stupid shit here. But anyways, let's not digress from the point. The thing is, first of all, I'm going to make a detailed video. Right, there are so many exercises that you can do to actually strengthen your shoulder joint. But just to answer this question here, to keep it brief, the problem with the shoulder joint is that most of you guys, and even I was included in that, are not balancing the pushing movements with the pulling movements, right? So the major reason that why you guys injure your shoulder, you have this tendonitis or bursitis, is because the anterior deltoid portion is dominant than the posterior deltoid motion. What happens is that your rotator cuffs and the scapula is weak, right? So your shoulder joint, so this is a ball and socket joint, this is called the glenohumeral joint, ball and socket joint. What happens eventually is, now I'm going to over exaggerate the stuff. So let's say you're doing this bench press movements all the time, or you're doing the triceps, all these are pushing movements, but you're not balancing with enough of back pushing volume, back pulling volume. And what that does is the scapula and your rotator cuff, right, the supraspinatus and the infraspinatus, these muscles are responsible of keeping this shoulder joint into the position, in its real position. And because there's an imbalance in the front and the back side of your shoulder joint, your body tends to come forward, or what I say is thoracic flexion. So your body, so you have this kind of a shrugged shoulder where your shoulders are coming in front, and due to that, what happens is your joint, it comes off the position and then there's acromion, right? So there's bursa in between your the shoulder joint and the rooftop of the shoulder joint, which is actually helping your shoulder joint to glide between smoothly, right? So it's like this. So your shoulder joint is on this gap, right? This much of gap, and this empty space is filled with bursa, the liquid, the fluid that is actually responsible for gliding this shoulder joint comfortably here. What happens is when you have this thoracic flexion, thoracic flexion, your joint, it moves in the forward direction, and what happens is this gap that was responsible, where the bursa was there, which was responsible for making it move comfortably, it starts getting eroded. And due to this, what happens is whenever you do another pushing movement, this shoulder joint start hitting the acromion, or let's say the rooftop, and then there's a wear and tear, and then you start having the shoulder joint problems. So I really try to help you out in a very technical way. The easiest thing that you can do here is start balancing the pushing movements with the pulling movements. Start doing a lot of rowing movements. I'm going to tell you the exercises in another video of the shoulder thing. It's going to be an elaborate one, detailed one. I cannot tell all of them right now. So just now, till the time that I put that video, make sure that you're doing a lot of pulling movements, the rowing, right? Doing a lot of rotator cuff exercises, strengthening your scapula. Follow my Snapchat, follow my Instagram. I've told a lot of times how to strengthen your scapula. Do that, and I'm really sure that you will have a healthy shoulder joint for the future, right? So yeah, that was a detailed thing that I told you right now. Okay, the next thing, okay, it's sort of suggest some cheapest made in India supplements like multivitamins, whey protein, pre-workout without creatine. Many people are suggesting Saputo, the Visco, Muscle Blaze, Zarways. Are these brands reliable? What about multivitamins? Made in USA vitamins are so expensive. Okay, so I can understand sort of where are you coming from, but here's the thing, to be really honest, as a teenager, I've never used Saputo, I've never used the Visco, I've never used Muscle Blaze. But yeah, I have used certain Indian gainers back in 2009 or 2009, 2010 as a teenager. As a teenager, when I used to be in my teenage, and I didn't have much of knowledge about the supplements, so my gym trainer gave me these supplements, the Indian supplements, which had some Canadian flags and something like that, and they were bullshit. They really harmed my health. I usually have good, like normal breakouts, but it really increased the breakouts. I started having a lot of pimples with that. I just felt bloated. I was like, I could always feel that I was uncomfortable when it came to digestion thing. So that was my experience with the Indian thing. And then I had sweared on myself that I'm not going to use any Indian stuff when it comes to whey protein or any supplements thing. So yeah, it's a little expensive, but you know what? Nothing is more better than your health. So even if you have to chuck out 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 rupees more for buying those supplements, you know what? It's worth it, because at least you are sure that it's not going to do any harm to your health. And that is why I will recommend, I don't know how Saputo works, how Visco works, how Muscle Blaze works. But here's the thing, please make sure that you're very careful in buying supplements when you're doing it from India. In India, I love my country, but you have to just accept the fact there's a lot of corruption in each and every field, and fitness is also one of those fields where it has entered massively from the last 1 decade. So you have to know that you have to be very careful while selecting. So I cannot suggest you any Indian bodybuilding supplements because I have not used anyone, right? So yeah, it's not the exact answer to your question that you asked, but yes, my brother, you have to just swallow this bitter pill and just, be safe than sorry. And that's how just it works, Okay, the next question is by Palan Parth. I have less muscles and my body fat is 17%. I want to get big, but when I going to bulk, I'm getting fatter. What can I do? Okay, so here's the thing, Palan. There can be two scenarios. First of all, You might be someone who has lower metabolism, right? And you're consuming too many calories than your body actually needs to build lean muscle. If that's the case, right, if you figure out that you have slower metabolism, please check out this video where I have explained that how to stay lean while bulking. The another scenario that can actually be happening with you is your nutrient timing. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people making, that you might be consuming wrong foods at the wrong time. So let's say, I just hope that if you are consuming carbohydrates late at night, right? So that what that might be doing is that might be putting your body into a insulin spike response for the rest of the night, which might not be allowing your body to burn fat when it should burn fat. You know, whether it's about building muscle, whether it's about burning fat, most of your body, most of the fat that your body burns is while sleeping, right? Or while doing very small, the activities which require least energy, like watching television or just watching this video or just moving your hands. These are the kind of activities that your body burns fat. Yes, you burn fat while working out. Yes, you burn fat while running on the treadmill or doing high intensity interval training, but your body is actually burning fat when you are at rest. The most of the fat is being burned when you are at rest. So make sure that you're not consuming too many carbohydrates before the bed. This is just my presumption because you've not given me enough of details with that. If you really want me to answer your question very specifically, please drop me a mail down. I've given my email ID in the description box, but here's the mail, abhinavfitness@gmail.com. I'm going to be looking forward towards your question, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next question.